Welcome to the Husky podcast, where knowledge meets in every class. Together we'll explore the world as we unravel the truth.
Hey guys, welcome back to the ELAC Husky Vision podcast. I am here with
Janet. I'm part of the CFES department, Child Family Education Studies, and we are here in the building F7. We have a lab in the 118, which is the first floor, and our main office is in the third floor, 305.
So we are very lucky today. We are going to come into the lab to see what the Child Family Education Studies program does with the students, how they help them get on track with any of the certificate programs pertaining to the department, and how they encourage and attract students to continue taking these classes. So let's go over.
Okay.
Ooh. So what is this entire building?
The lab. Yes,
Okay.
Most of our classrooms for child development are here. This is 120, and it's basically used for child development 3 and 4. And this one, also the 116, we also provide the child development 45 and other classes for child development.
Okay.
And this is our lab where we provide help for the students with either tutoring, certificates, permits, guide them how to add like a class, how to enroll, maybe drop a class. Sometimes they just come over to see if we could help them out, like guide them which classes it's more recommended for them. So we do provide with a lot of information here.
That's great.
Yeah.
I like that because I think a lot of our students don't really know where to go, what classes to take, and if they
Yes.
have someone that's obviously like they're familiar with, comfortable with, right?
Yes.
A lot of our students tend to feel a little bit overwhelmed being on such a big campus.
Yes.
So having someone that has a friendly face and is welcoming makes a
Yes.
big difference to our students for sure. So
Yes.
F7 guys, that's where you need to go to for child development classes, and this is where their department is at.
And
And
118.
we're walking into the lab now.
Yes, and you guys are welcome
Okay.
to come in. So pretty much
Hello,
these are the
everybody.
commuters.
Oh, and we can see
Yes.
students now, right?
Yes.
So is this what? Okay.
So we're helping students with their
Oh, nice.
yes, we're helping them with the tutoring and also with the permit.
Oh, okay.
So we do have we provide computers for them if they don't have their own. We have like access to it.
Okay, so you
Yes.
like something like a computer lab, or do they take a computer home?
We sometimes do both, but we have the computers there so they could use them. And sometimes, like if they really, really need one, we do provide one.
Okay, that's cool. You mentioned a permit. What is a permit? Is that part of like the programs, the certificates?
It is, well, a certificate is you just basically take like some classes. We have the associate teacher certificate, which
Okay.
is like the first one. You are supposed to take 4 classes for that one and do some hours where you could do them here in the center.
The Child Development
the
Center
Child
on
Development
campus?
Centers,
Okay.
yeah. So for that certificate, you're supposed to take 3 or 4 child development class, child development 11, 1 and 2, and you're supposed to do some hours. Once you do that, you come here, you bring your unofficial transcripts. We go over it, we fill out the application, and we submit it to admissions. Once that is done, we wait for the process. You receive by mail your certificate, and also once you go back to your transcripts, you're able to see the certificate in the bottom. And then for the permit, it's something like more, like if I say it, like more professional, like for
Okay.
you to be
So what
working
would a
in a-
permit allow you to do? So you guys, it sounds like a lot, but I think at the end, taking 3 classes is probably just 1 semester.
Yes.
It's not like a year, 2 years. You're
In a
here
semester,
for
you
a
could
semester and
actually like
complete it, right?
complete it, yes.
Yeah, so it may sound like a lot, but don't feel discouraged. Definitely come visit the department. They have amazing staff here that can help you out with the certificate process.
Yes.
As she mentioned, they go through the entire application with you. They submit it to Admissions and Records, which is another department here on campus,
Yes.
and they'll go ahead and process for you. So
Yes.
that's really great because a lot of our students need that extra help and, need for us to be a little bit more hands-on with them, right?
Yes.
So that's amazing that you guys do that here.
And sometimes if they don't want to come like all the way to the office, they could just also like fill out the application at home. They just could send it to us through email, and we'll just like scan it, and also we'll submit it to admissions, because we know a lot of the students don't have like the time because they work, they take so many classes, so they're bombarded. So they're like, oh, so how can I do it if I don't have to go like all the way to ELAC? So they could just email us the information, we get it, and we submit it to admissions.
And what do you think is the demographics for students that usually take classes for child development? Is it like students right out of high school? Is it maybe community members that want to open up their own child care center? Like what is the demographics, do you know?
I think it's a combination. Like for me, example, a mom of 3 kids, and I never thought I was going to come back to college, and I just decided to start like all over, and yeah, I already graduated.
Oh, nice, but it's never too late, right?
No, exactly. So we like, it's a combination of everything. I have my sister, she's gonna graduate, she just started high school, and she's also like interested in taking some classes, so she also like does her hours, because for high school they ask you for hours for community service. So sometimes we do have like events here. She helps us out, and we provide little certificates for community hours. Yes, so we also do that.
Nice, yes. That's good. That's good to hear.
So we do provide a lot of stuff here.
I'm learning now, and I'm definitely gonna promote it. Myself, so it's really important to have this information handy when we have students that come on campus, and we're recruiting. You know, a lot of our students happen to walk on the campus because they see our big campus, and you know, it's really important for us to know all of the information. But again, the staff that will have you taking these classes and help you to take these classes and onboard you is definitely here, and they know what's best for you all. So congratulations again on your accomplishments.
Thank you.
That's a big deal. So this is your office space?
Yeah, this is actually Marcy's space. She's another coworker. She's great too. She's here to provide any information that you guys have. She's usually like in charge of the classrooms too, with the materials, the students, helping certificates, permits. We do a lot of everything. So if they have any questions, Marcy's here too.
Okay. So where are you taking me now? Let's go. Hi.
Hey guys.
Hi, so this is Amanda. She's our department chair.
Hi, nice to meet you. I'm Myra. So I'm here with our viewers from East LA College, and how do you encourage them to continue their education and follow a career path with child development?
Absolutely. What we do here in the Child Family Education Studies Lab, absolutely.
Thank you.
We do a lot of like smaller things, like tutoring, like workshops, like book club, and we find that those little things really help students to connect with us, like on a personal level. We get the student engagement, and then they're like ready for classes.
Nice. And I think a lot of our students tend to feel like they're doing this all on their own.
Yeah.
So when they have staff and faculty such as yourself that help them along the way, it makes a big difference for them, and it definitely shows like in the retention and the completion of the programs, you know. So that's amazing that you all do that. What kind of you said workshops?
Yeah.
What kind of workshops do you have?
Last semester we did a lot of curriculum writing. We do a lot of that in this profession. So curriculum writing. One of our most popular was our children's equity book club. So we read children's books that are, and it's actually transitioning into the banned book club now. So we're excited about that to kind of make a stand.
Sorry, I don't want to cut you off, but I have ADHD. And I just heard book club.
Sure.
So is this part of ASU, like the clubs, or like just an actual club, like a readers club?
It's
and then
just a collection of students. Nice. Yeah. Okay. So they just come, and we'll have a book planned out. We'll read it together. Again, it's a children's book because we're trying to teach educators how to read, how to get people excited about reading and literacy, but then we're also bringing some of that social justice and equity piece into it. That's really important to us in teaching the students.
That's great. Can anybody join your book club?
Absolutely. Anybody in the whole school. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay. So I might join you.
Please do.
For one of those. We also heard about certificate programs here. So which certificate programs are the ones that
that you see more students applying for and completing?
Sure. So we actually house 3 different disciplines. Child development is our biggest, and that's what we've been primarily talking about. We have family and consumer studies, which supports nutrition and gerontology, and then we have education, which is like elementary ed. So we do a lot of things around all of those areas. It's sort of like the helping professions. That's what we sort of call it. So I would say some of our most popular certificates fall within child development. The Teacher 1 certificate that Janet was sharing before, that one is aligned to a teacher permit, as we were kind of discussing.
Yeah, she mentioned that.
Our nutrition degree is actually getting more popular too. We're seeing a lot of pre-med students who are learning about your body and nutrition as like a piece of the medical puzzle, right? And then our elementary educator program is also an AAT, so an Associate for Transfer degree, but it's one of our popular ones too.
So I hear that what I'm picturing is you can go into child development, but you don't necessarily have to like teach.
I love that you just said that.
Because
yes.
Me, I don't really have patience. So oh my goodness, I can't even imagine spending a whole day with a group of 25 children.
Yes.
That I don't have the patience. So I honestly, like my kids' teachers, I'm just like, I love them so much because you guys deal with a lot.
Absolutely.
But knowing that you don't have to go into just child development and be a teacher, you can go branch out,
You
right?
sure can.
That's like really important because a lot of students don't realize that.
Yes.
Well, it doesn't really have to be me teaching.
Exactly.
I can do something else.
Exactly.
So,
The child development is a great foundation for getting all of the knowledge and skills around brain development and body development and understanding all of those pieces of the puzzle. But many of our students, when they get to the end of their journey with us, they have to do mandatory hours in the classroom. And that's when they go, oh my God, this is not what I thought. And so then they say, you know what, I really love children and families, but I'm going to be a caseworker, or I'm going to go into library science, or I'm going to do social services or something else that's related, but they have the background that supports their growth there.
that's great. That's great to hear because I think it's kind of like you go into through steps, right? So
Yeah.
this is like first
For
piece,
sure.
first step, and then you can keep growing.
Absolutely.
So yeah, that's to me, like I've always thought like, okay, if you go into child development, you're going into teaching.
Right.
But not necessarily. So that's great to hear.
Yeah.
I'm definitely a supporter of certificates. I know that, you can take a few classes and, you get a certificate. It looks great on your resume. Do you all help with like resume building, or do you refer your students to other areas on campus?
So we do both.
Okay.
So we can help here in the lab. That's one of the support services we can absolutely provide. If somebody wants a specialty resume, or they maybe have a resume in a field that isn't related to our disciplines, we will refer them over to like the Career Center for a little bit
nice.
more specialized services. And before I forget, I just want to really exemplify the idea that in the lab, we also we have food for students, we have coffee, we have like a warm place to sit, a dry
Sold.
place to
I'm
sit.
coming.
Yeah, like we feel like even if you don't really want to talk to us, this is a safe space for students, and we really want to make that clear to everybody that you're welcome here, and we do everything we can. We partner with the food pantry. We go over there, we grab as much stuff as we can, and we leave it for our students so that they can access it too. So
That's good because we do hear a lot of students are going through these difficulties, right? Homelessness, food insecurities,
Right.
and we want to make sure that they feel safe and that they feel welcomed,
Yeah.
and know that there's spaces like this
Sure.
that they can go to.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for that. It definitely goes a long way with our students here on campus, and I'll make sure that all of my students, because I work in LACP, and everybody knows that I promote LACP, and we actually help students apply for certificates similar
Okay.
to what you do. But I'll definitely make sure that my students know that this program also offers these other incentives and opportunities.
Thank you.
So that's great to hear all of the work that you do with our community here at East. But what do you do, outside, like as for community members? If maybe, there's someone outside of our community here, how do you reach out to them?
Sure.
What is the recruitment efforts?
So we've been really active. Our department's really active in dual enrollment. We offer probably
What is dual enrollment?
Dual enrollment. So supporting students who are in high school or even middle school in some instances who are taking college level classes to be able to move forward in their kind of career aspirations. And we really believe in the mission of dual enrollment as a tool of equity to help support students who wouldn't normally necessarily go to college. And we feel like child development especially is a discipline where we can get students like with some of those certificates and permits we've just been talking about before they even graduate high school.
So they can get a certificate before they graduate high school?
Yep. And that's the pathway we are most likely to offer with our dual enrollment partners. We either get them on a certificate pathway or a full degree pathway because we want our students to have a real leg up to both get a job and to be on their way towards a degree that they're interested in getting before they're even done with high school.
So guys, what I'm hearing is while you're in middle school, and I mean, are the, okay, so the classes, now that I'm thinking about, and I'm trying to explain what I heard, how difficult are the classes for a middle school child to take? Because my son is in middle school, and I'm like, is he ready for a class, a college level course?
That's a great question. So do we, maybe the question I'm hearing is, do we change our courses at all when we offer them to different age groups?
Yes.
The answer is no. So what do? I appropriately plan what classes I'm going to offer to middle school students. So that wouldn't be maybe my child development 1, 2, 4, 11, whatever. That might be when they get to the high school level. But an 8th grader might be really appropriate for a college preparedness class or a non-credit support class or some of the other classes. So we're intentional in getting them ready for the next step at the level that they currently are.
That's great to hear, because I know that getting those courses out of the way by the time you come to college, and you do hear some, rare, instances where you have students that are graduating high school and getting their AA. So
this
guess
is the
that
way
would
they
be,
can do it.
right?
Yeah.
That would be the way to do it.
Yeah.
So dual enrollment classes are important for students who want to take those college level courses, get those out of the way, so that when you start at East LA College, then you're already ahead of the game, right?
Yeah.
So that I like that.
And if their school, if somebody's watching this who is a high school student and they want to take a class, but their school doesn't have dual enrollment, that's okay. They can just come to our school and they can become a dual enrolled student on their own. So any student who's in high school from really anywhere can become our student and have all of their fees paid. It's still totally free for all high school students. So they can get on that pathway no matter whether their school encourages it or not.
And free, you said that word,
Yes,
and I
free.
always promote that word.
Yes.
Free is for me, and it's for everybody else, right?
Yes.
So taking a dual enrollment course, you don't have to pay for the fees.
Correct.
Do you have to pay for supplies? What do you?
No.
Nothing. Oh
So
my goodness.
under the law, we've had some new laws passed recently. That is in an effort to really encourage our high school students to come. And so the college is responsible for taking care of all of those fees, and we get certain grants and things to cover that. But the classes that they'll take will be completely free for them.
That's great to hear, because I know, like, at least within our community, it's hard for our students to purchase these books. So, and materials,
$100,
right?
yeah, for a book. It's crazy,
so,
yes.
Okay, so that's great to hear.
We do a lot of community outreach and partnerships with child care centers in our community, both local here in the southeast region, because a lot of our graduating students, they take our Child Development 22 and 23 classes. We kind of call those our practicum classes.
Okay.
So they're required to be out in the field 108 hours in a licensed care setting. So we have to build these community partnerships and have safe, high-quality centers with mentor teachers so we can really set our students up to observe and shadow the best, or the best that we know, so that we can have them be ready to go into the workforce.
So is that like a placement, like you place your
Yes.
students in these particular child development centers
Yes.
so they can learn and, okay.
That's right.
That's amazing. You guys have like a great department here.
Thank you.
I'm really happy that I came in to get to meet you and just hear about the department itself, because it sounds like you guys are doing amazing work with the students here and the department itself. So can we color now?
Let's do it.
Okay.
We got the big rain stick.
So cute.
Yeah.
This
That's
is
fun.
really good. Yeah.
So what you're looking at here is sort of our demonstration in the front of different centers that could potentially be in a classroom. So we try to set up, our classroom looks a little different than a regular classroom setup. So this is our music and movement kind of center. We got our math center over here.
So if a student wants to have like their own child development center, like
Yes.
at home, this is something like to give some sort of like inspiration to them, how they can set it up.
Exactly. So we give them an idea of what maybe a literacy center would look like, or a music center, or a science center. Over here, you'll notice that there's mirrors at varying heights. It's to look at yourself. And the idea about this is about breathing and feelings. How do you feel today? And just like really remembering. Children are a lot smaller than we are, right? Like making sure that we're remembering all sizes in our classrooms. So there's, a lot of cool pieces, even though you might walk in and not see, there's intentionality behind each of the pieces and why it's there. And
I had one of these when I was a kid, and this is all I did. Just put them back and forth. I never even knew what it was for.
You're probably really great at math now. So.
No, I'm really good at math. I just didn't know that that's what that was for. I thought it was just for the colors and just like the beads, and this is what I would do.
It's also fun. Yeah, that's also fun.
Yeah.
Why
that's
not?
All I did.
Different things in different areas. Over here, we've got a lot of our art supplies. So just different mediums of art. We make sure that we've got all of the skin tones for students. They do a lot of self-portraits. We're teaching, again, our students to be young child teachers, and they do that kind of stuff in their classrooms. And then we call this our loose parts. There's like all sorts of things, right? But bottle caps, those can be a teaching tool for counting, and chalk and drawing outside and learning about your community. And you can do it with all these things. And it seems random, but it is, again, intentional about what we're bringing into the classroom and how the students
Can you imagine counting this?
No, I cannot.
Oh my goodness.
That would not be.
No, I don't want to count that.
Yeah.
But this is really great. I like your setup here.
Thank you.
It definitely gives me, like, I want to color. I want to do stuff. I
It's
want to create
inspiring
something.
vibes, yeah.
I don't have an
for sure.
artistic bone in my body. I
Well,
really don't.
maybe you should
As far
come take
as,
Child Development 3.
And painting, see, this would bother me because it's not a perfect square. So I'm glad I didn't go into teaching, but other people that can.
Oh, there's a book over here. Be helpful. The Beautiful Oops, all about how things that you do wrong can actually turn into things that go right. How you can develop them into really beautiful things.
Oh, cute!
Right? So they're kind of fun. Bent paper. Sometimes to celebrate. Yeah. But it's true. I think what you just described is actually a really very common challenge. And so we're teaching adult people here in our classes, like, let's be okay with the journey, with the process instead of the product, right? Because it might look kind of weird and whatever, but we're enjoying it, So anyway, I thank you for saying that, because it's very true.
Let's be okay with the process,
our
not
beautiful
with the product.
oops. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. So another cool thing that we are doing, well, right now we're manipulating some colors and shapes that we would do with kids, but that's just fun. But some of the cool things that we're doing with our students is also, we realize that a really big portion of them, their first language is not English. And we were doing a disservice to our students by only providing the classes in English. And we have these capable, hardworking family child care providers in our community who are like so hungry for the knowledge, and all we had to do was figure out a way to be able to offer the classes in Spanish. And so we've had some law changes and educational code changes lately that have allowed us to do so. So I think we were one of the first departments to jump on the train and be like, we need to get our classes certified. So
that's amazing to hear.
Yeah.
Especially, I come from a Spanish-speaking household. Mm-hmm. My first language was Spanish. I took ESL classes as a kid. Mm-hmm. My parents are still taking ESL classes. So it's never too late, never too early. Mm-hmm. But giving students an opportunity to further their education and meeting them where they're at, right?
Right.
And giving them those tools that they need is definitely very important. And I'm happy to hear that. What classes do you offer in Spanish?
Sure, we offer almost all of our core classes. We have we've gone through the approval process to have them certified in Spanish. We're hoping to get an entire degree. That's our goal.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I don't know if we'll get there by the end of this academic year, but we're on the path. So we're excited to be able to offer a full, probably our early childhood educator degree program fully in Spanish. So that will also mean the GE classes will be offered in Spanish as well. Oh, wow. So it's been a collaborative effort across the campus, and I think more members of our ELAC community than ever are just like speaking up like you just did and said, like, we need to do this. We need to do
that's
it.
great. That's great to hear. I know that a lot of community members hearing that will probably, be more interested. How do you reach out to this particular population?
So we've had a good connection with a group of family child care providers just because a few of them had tried to take our classes in English, and they've supported one another and developed this really beautiful connective network. They're all under the same resource and referral agencies out in the community. That's kind of like where providers work together with an overhead like governing group, and they support those childcare providers and give them trainings and things. So we've been really lucky to be involved in that. And like through COVID, I remember meeting with these groups of women on Zoom and them just talking to us and saying, like, we need this. Like, this was 2020, and it's been a long process to try to get to this place to support them. And then we're finally seeing these, especially childcare providers, but now we're seeing other groups of people too. It's also younger people and returning students. So it's a diverse population, really. It is. They're kind of all over the place. I know Janet would maybe feel more comfortable taking some classes in Spanish because that's your first language too.
Yes, that is my first language. But yeah, definitely we encourage the students to come. It doesn't really matter like if they speak Spanish or English. We're always like trying our best. Even though our Spanish is not perfect for some of our coworkers, we, like I said, like we try our best to provide as much as information to help them out, like at the classes that they feel more comfortable with. And yes, I think our Spanish classes has made a big impact in our department because, believe it or not, we do have like older ladies coming to us wanting to take classes, and they feel the support and they feel like, I don't know, like that they're home.
For sure. And honestly, I think even like when I see my mom out in public or when she goes to maybe a department store, if you make her feel welcomed, she'll start speaking English a little more. Yes. But if you definitely don't give her the time of day and, just kind of brush her off, then she's, shuts down. Right. So I think that really matters to our students, especially our students that are, their second language is English, right? So making them feel welcome. And I mean, I feel welcome. I've been sitting with both of you for a few minutes, and I feel really welcome here. And, just hearing everything that you all do to support the students is, very valuable information that I can hand out to or pass along to our students and, community members when I go out to recruit.
Thank you.
For sure. And again, no type of, I did nothing with this.
That looks great.
Chit-chatting.
It's all good.
I couldn't even make a flower. I thought I was going to make a flower. I didn't do anything.
I don't know what I'm making either.
But we did something, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, thank you so much for being here with us. I appreciate you both.
Thank you.
And I'll definitely be stopping in a little bit more often.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank
Bye,
you.
guys.
Bye.
Thanks for being here.